Hey YouTube, this is Logan with Hideaway Homestead coming to you with a video on pest control. And right now we're looking at a bunch of aphids. So traditionally most people either have sprays, whether they be chemical or organic sprays, to get rid of pests. Some people even use introduction of certain insects. Like on this plant we have a bunch of aphids, but we also have back here a ladybug. Let's see if we can focus in here. Maybe it'll focus. There we go. Can't see the front of the ladybug, but or the top. You can see the underside though. But this plant is just covered in aphids. So today I wanted to talk about kind of some alternatives to spraying chemically or organically or having to buy predatory insects. And the first thing is just to leave the pest alone. Now, that may be kind of hard to do if you've got a lot of garden plants that you're really counting on doing well that year, and you really need to have something just to solve the pest problem. But the thing is all ecosystems have a balance. They have, predators, they have prey, they have plants, they have fungi, they have all these things that keep everything else in balance. And the problem with eradicating, for example, all these aphids is that then your ladybugs and ladybug larvae, they starve out. And then you get an explosion of aphids because there isn't a population to keep them under a predator population to keep them under control. Now, aphids are extremely prolific. They're pretty much giving birth to pregnant babies. They reproduce really fast. You can just see this stem is covered in aphids. But the other thing to help control is to plant polycultures. So if you plant a lot of different plants and even let some of the weeds, plants that you really don't have a use for, if you let them grow, a lot of times they will be attractants to pests that could harm your garden plants. Like for example, I'm not going to cut down any of this goldenrod, not even to feed to my rabbits, because the aphids are on it. And if the aphids will stay on this and eat on this rather than getting on my good garden plants and destroying them, that's what I want to do. But let's talk about some other solutions that we can do to get rid of pests when they're just too much to deal with. So here we have the dreaded Japanese beetle, and this elderberry is just covered in them. Now, there are not a lot of things here that I know of that will prey on Japanese beetles. I have seen jumping spiders do it. I used to keep jumping spiders when I was a kid, and catch stuff for them to eat. And I'd a lot of times catch Japanese beetles just because they were so abundant. And there are spiders that spin webs, but really there's nothing that just comes out here and just starts annihilating them. I don't even really see a lot of birds attack Japanese beetles now. But there is one thing: if you're a homesteader, most homesteaders, permaculturalists, anybody who's into that stuff is going to keep chickens. Now, chickens will tear up Japanese beetles. The only problem is that these Japanese beetles here are a good 5 foot off the ground, and there's not really anywhere for chickens to perch, so they're not going to come through here and just pick these up. They're getting a lot of good stuff from the ground. So what you do is you come through with a bucket of water, and you knock these Japanese beetles down into the bucket of water, and then you go and you give that to your chickens. I would give a demonstration of this, but my chickens, my 3 hens, are all free range, and they stay full all day because they're eating so many good things. And it would not be a good demonstration if I took these Japanese beetles and knocked them off and gave them to the chickens. They'd probably eat 1 or 2. We might do it just to go ahead and see, but if you give it to chickens that are either in a coop and run, or either in a chicken tractor or something like that, where they're not just having access to anything they want all day long, a lot of times they will just devour anything you give them. And Japanese beetles, they have no problem eating that. So I tell you what, let's grab a bucket real quick and see if we can't give some to the chickens. All right, I'm gonna try to execute this one-handed, or I might actually even just take the leaves and do this and shake them off in there into the bucket. But it's a whole lot easier to do this with two hands, and some of them I'm just grabbing, throwing down. This in here, I'll probably take off the leaf because it's just about destroyed. Shake them off in there, and just got some scummy rainwater in there. Doesn't have to be anything special. And just throw as many as you can into water, and you can get a smaller pail too to do this. But now that we've got them down there, as you can see, as soon as they fall into the water, they can't get out immediately. Now they might eventually climb up on the sides or up on some of these leaves and be able to get out, but right now they're not going to do that. So we'll swish them around a little bit. That's one thing you want to do. Make sure they get good and wet, because you don't want them as soon as they fall on the ground to end up running, flying off. So let's go and see if we can't find the chickens. Well, as you can see, since they're free range, they're not even interested in coming over here. I dumped them on the ground to give them some, but like I said, they stay pretty full. We don't even feed them any. We get 3 eggs a day from them. That's really awesome having them. Here, chick, 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 chick. She's thinking about it. See some movement over here. May come over here and grab some. Here comes the cat. And the cat decided against it when he saw how the chicken was rearing up at him. But that's a really great perk to having chickens be completely free range if they're layers. I mean, you pretty much spend nothing in feed during the spring, summer, and fall. And even in winter if you do it right. But you don't get the same benefits as you would with chickens that are confined, that can either do a composting operation or a pest control. Oh, but no, here we go. She's looking at them. Oh, yep, good. I was hoping I'd get some for the video. There we go. Yeah, she's gonna eat the Japanese beetles. Yep, there we go. Hey, that's a good girl. Eat them Japanese beetles. Every one of them you want. So I'll go away and let them pick at this and get what they want. But definitely an option, especially if you keep your chickens cooped up. And that's the thing, chickens, they're insectivores for the most part. Now they do have a crop and they do consume some grains, but it's not supposed to be the majority of their diet. They about 50% or more they'll do in insects. So if you really want those eggs to be nutritionally dense, you want insects in their diet. So just like we talk about in permaculture, the problem is the solution. So with some of your pests, think about giving them to your chickens. But I hope this video has made you think a little bit on things you can do to control pests in the garden and just really balance out your ecosystems. But if this video was helpful, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. I drop one every day. And thanks for watching.